Egypt's military has just 3 months to secure the Sinai region. The order has been given by President Abdel Fattah EL-Sisi and comes after the devastating attack on a mosque in Sinai, where more than 300 people were killed. From Cairo, here's CGTN's Yasser Hakim with more.
In front of everyone, in front of all Egyptians, you are responsible for restoring security and stability in Sinai in 3 months. You, the army and Ministry of Interior.
An order from Egypt's president to the country's security forces. The military has been battling insurgents in the Sinai for over 4 years now. Now they only have 90 days. So what needs to be done?
Improve information gathering mechanisms, support and reinvigorate the intelligence services. The best way to counter terrorism is through information, as long as it is advanced, updated and efficient. Then security forces will have the upper hand and can thwart any attacks before they happen.
Mohammed Farid Hijazi is the man who'll take on this mission in the Sinai. He was only recently appointed as Army Chief of Staff. al-Sisi had continuously said that eradicating terrorism will take a long time. But his latest comments are seen as a shift in his stance towards eradicating extremism from the country. But why now? Some critics believe it's a political move ahead of the elections. But others say he's sending a clear message, not only to terrorists, but to the Egyptian people.
It's a message to Egyptians, especially to the people of Sinai and the tribes that have lost more than 300 people in the attack. Obviously, they are outraged. They want to take revenge. His message to them is that the state can bring justice to those who killed their sons. The message is also to reassure all Egyptians who are calling for an end to terrorism.
The attack on the Rawda Mosque has shocked the nation. So the next 3 months could be critical for the Egyptian president and his army. Yasser Hakim for CGTN, Cairo.
Well, there are several other developments out of Egypt too. Russia's government published a draft agreement between Russia and Egypt on Thursday, allowing both countries to use each other's airspace and air bases for their military planes. For more on that and other developments, I'm now joined live in Cairo by CGTN's Abdel El-Sisi. Abdel, what's the significance of this deal between Russia and Egypt? What is it meant to achieve?
Well, it's a very great development in the region. What is going on here is we're seeing a really significant shift in the balance of power in the Middle East. If the deal goes through, first of all, it has been released as a draft agreement, so there are still many details and a final confirmation to that. From its side, the Egyptian government has not yet officially confirmed any of these news, but it has been sort of part of negotiations and deepening the military cooperation between Egypt and Russia. This will give Russia more access to the rest of the Middle East. If that takes place, it brings it closer to troubled areas like Libya, and it may be one of the new methods to assist Egypt in the Sinai. There are many questions and many speculations, but all in all, it brings more attention to what or who has the most influence in the Middle East. And if it goes through and Russia managed to do this, it's definitely a big hit for the Russians and a big achievement for them to maintain such a geographic position within Egypt. For Egypt to have Russia, I think it's just a mutual cooperation, but there hasn't been any clear strategic significance for Egyptians to use Russian spaces, at least not apparent till now, or the interest in that region has not been Egypt's most concern.
Okay, well, a big hit for Russia. Egypt's traditional military ally, however, is the United States. What's likely to be Washington's response to this agreement with Russia?
Well, Washington has been funding the Egyptian military for decades. An estimated $70 billion of military aid has been given to Egypt in the past years. So definitely there will be anger and fury if the deal goes through and if it's officially confirmed. So, and already there have been tensions in the recent few years between Washington and Cairo over this military aid. Just a couple of months back, the United States has frozen nearly $300 million of that aid to Egypt. Before it, President Obama in 2013 almost stopped it entirely. So it has been always a side of a leverage. And since President el-Sisi came to office, he has been very keen to relieve the Egyptian army from this dependency on U.S. arms and spare parts, and therefore the armed forces would, without the United States, wouldn't really operate. Since then, he has held many arms deals with many replacements, including Russia as a prime source for arms. He has went to France, and there has been cooperation with China. So Egypt has been diversifying intensely. And what will be the reaction from the United States? It will definitely outlash, but it's still not clear also, because there has been sort of a very clear chemistry going on between Trump and el-Sisi, and it has been apparent in almost all their meetings.
And Adel, let's return to the Sinai region. We heard earlier that the Egyptian military has just 3 months to secure the Sinai region. How is it planning on doing that?
Well, the details have not been announced. It has been quite an astonishing news to many experts who said that a specific time frame is not the best way to tackle it, because it has been a battle going on since 2013. So it's almost it's crossed actually the 4 years and going into its 5th. And just summarizing that in 3 months might be an immense and tiring challenge for the Egyptian armed forces. Digging in the Sinai region, and as far as the army gets involved in facing the threat of the militant insurgency that has been taking a lot of its concentration and focus in North Sinai, the army discovered that it is a very long and complicated process. It's not simple. Militants, they do not go putting on their face mask and hold the ISIL flag and move all around. They wear regular clothes, they blend in with the society, and they're not really, it's not easy to identify them on their own unless they have their own hideouts and their meetings or practicing with weapons. That's only when. But other than that, it means that there are many others, many recruits who are still in that region and very hard to target. So how it will do it, I don't think the army will announce the details yet, even if there's a clear plan to it. But definitely it will work immediately, and it has already started since the horrific mosque accident in Bir Abed, and since then, almost on daily basis, multiple airstrikes and multiple army and military operations, along with the police, have been reported from the Sinai.
Okay, Adel, thank you for that. That was in Cairo, CGTN's Adel El-Mahrouhi there.